Yeah. Let's talk about a team with great vibes. Let's talk about a team with awesome vibes. Your Dallas Mavericks. They play tonight. New season. How you feeling?
I've listed the reasons I don't think they're going to be. I mean, you can look at the over-unders, right? And whether you think it's going to be a 50-win team or a 40-win or a 45-win team, whatever. They are deeply flawed in the construction of the roster at this point. So I'm not loving that part of it. The other part that I think people are having to come to terms with right now, today, is do I root for this team? Mm-hmm. I've woken up 30-plus years previous to this on opening day of the NBA season or my Dallas Mavericks opening night and gone, I know exactly what to do. Let's go. Let's push. We're going for it this year. Let's win a championship. I'm right behind you. I'll be there. I'll spend whatever expendable income I have on merch and tickets and whatever your new app is that you got me to pay for to watch the games. Like, I'll do it. This year, a little bit different. I think you got to question whether or not you want in or not. Yeah. Because of what happened in February, and then what happened in March, and then what happened in April, and because they did land Cooper Flagg, we're never going to get the full-on, come to Jesus, I messed up, I'm sorry, guys, moment.
Right, yeah.
They're off the hook. Management is off the hook after they landed Cooper Flagg, in my estimation. But we still haven't had the conversation.
No, and I think at this point, that's why I think the vitriol from, we'll say February through especially April, that's buried in a shallow grave. Because what's going to happen is I think this team, you can read Josh Bowe on the site for a really good breakdown of what this basketball team is, the things they do very well, the things they don't. It's a flawed team that's built to win rock fights, which is its own deal, just because aesthetically, like even forgetting how just the quality drop off of team that almost won the title to team that probably most predictions say is hovering around, I don't know, anywhere from 10 to like maybe 6 in the West. The Luka teams were fun. Even when it was bad, it was like pizza. Even when it was bad, it was good. You're having a good time. This is gonna be a lot of 88 to 84. And that is a thing that I don't know if people want to sign up for aesthetically. But there's going to be a time, because this is going to happen to every team that's not a top 5 team in the league. There will be a stretch where they drop, let's say, 6 out of 9, maybe 7 of 11, something to that effect. Nothing taking the season off the rails, but enough to where you're going, this is not fun right now. And all of the stuff that got buried beneath Cooper Flagg's feet as the savior, it's going to come spilling back up. You're going to hear Fire Nico again. You're going to hear a lot of rage. And that's because there is no public moment of reckoning. There is no acknowledgement that, yes, we did this and we did not listen to you, but we hear you now. We are going to try and be better. I mean, they have Nico Harrison, in so many words, has tried to retcon the Cooper Flagg thing as part of the plan, which is an insane thing because the plan was supposed to win a title last year, and Cooper Flagg isn't here if everybody doesn't get hurt and they bomb into the play-in range. So we're going the other direction now. We're just doubling down. So it's going to make for a weird environment. I do think this is a playoff team. I do think Cooper Flagg is going to be incredible. We'll talk more about that later. But it's a weird thing. Thankfully, they're going to wear green this year.
Yeah, Hardwood Classic jerseys, man. Every 5 years you get to roll them out, which – whenever I worked for the team, it was cool to see them. The last time we did them, it was we, as a Metroplex, I suppose, or as an NBA fandom, did them, was in the bubble. And so a lot of those photos of the Hardwood Classic, there's nobody in the stands.
Yeah.
It was bubble year. It was year after bubble year, so no fans in the stands. We're like, creep them back in. Season. So a lot of those photos that I've seen have a little bit of just, I don't know, sour taste to me in a way that the green jerseys didn't before that, because that was just such a hard time. But I don't know. Do you like them? Are they the best Mavs jersey ever? How do you feel about the green? And green Hardwood Classic, because there are other Hardwood Classics they could wear.
Right.
There's a white and a blue that was there, and I love those. And I'd rather at some point.
We're 90s. Well, we're 90s kids, so that's our childhood more than the 80s reunion era.
J-Kid rookie year, blue and white.
Yep. Like, there's one of those in somewhere in the bowels of my childhood closet. I like, to your point, and I think this is where you're going with this. It is interesting they're testing the green. I wonder if they're testing the waters for an eventual rebrand, which I think is a little overdue. If there's ever a time to do it, it's probably the next few years when you have a new star and a plan for a new arena somewhere. I think they look cool. I mean, the pantheon of like cool alt jerseys the Mavs have done the last several years. I don't know if it's right at the tippy top. I always loved the blue and green 70s ones from a couple of years ago. I was always a big fan of the Skyline jerseys. I love the city Skyline.
Really?
Here.
You like the Skyline?
I like the Skyline jerseys, man. I love the city Skyline here. I'm a sucker for it. Maybe it's because they were out when I was living in LA, so I got nostalgic for home.
Okay.
But I like these. And I
like the idea of the Skyline jerseys. Whenever it became just like a cutout, like you went to Michael's and just like traced it and cut it out and then put it on top of the word Dallas. I was like, are we finished? Is there like more to? Are you going to rip that thing off and it becomes like a more defined?
I mean, this is the Rube and this is the designer right here, right? You have an actual aesthetic, and you're not wrong about any of that. I just look at the big picture thing when I'm living halfway across the country and I see Dirk with the city Skyline on his chest. I'm like, this just feels right to me.
And a weird team.
Yeah, because that was the Monte era, right? One Monte around for that.
I remember Darren Williams wearing Skyline for some reason.
Okay,
but that might have been Monte too.
Yeah, he won just 1 year. I thought they had it for multiple.
They did. They kept it for like 2, I think.
Yeah. So,
but is the green one your favorite?
These greens this year. No, I mean my favorite's still those 70s blue and green ones for a couple of years back with Luka. But these are really good, and I think it's time to get this back in rotation and just pave the way, take a step towards a rebrand. And it doesn't have to be green. You could do a white and blue aesthetic, but it's been the same look for a while, and I think they got to try to do something at some point.
Here's what I know. I don't think any green will be in the future.
Okay.
Just from my experience.
A man who knows things.
Yeah, I don't think any green will be in the future. The blue from the early days and the white from the early days are better to me. Yeah. Those are better jerseys because what they've done to the green is at one point it got handed off to Adidas to make the Mavs jerseys for a season or two, whatever it was, right?
That's right, man.
The green got a little mangled. It's not even the original lettering. It's like some other. If it looked exactly like the original green, I would be in. But it's gone through. It's been Frankensteined a little bit, and it just kind of looks different and looks like, oh yeah, I know what you're trying to do. The numbers aren't quite right. The numbers are too perfect compared to what the numbers were at the beginning. Yeah, what they actually were. Like the angles, like the 2 doesn't come flat like that. It like angles up a little bit. Just like this little stuff that whenever you're working with those assets and like designing a brand thing, you notice. And the green kind of drives me crazy. It's a hard thing to shoot for, depending on coloring of an arena. Yeah. Some arenas don't have good lighting. The blue and white are stronger. I'd love to bring back a just classic Dallas with the original lettering on it. Or the blue as well, the J. Kidd, Jamal Mashburn blue.
Jim Jackson, the 3Js era.
Let's roll, dude. Yeah, I like those a lot more at this point because I've seen the green so much. We always go back to the green. Other teams have other things to jump back into. Yeah. For some reason with the Mavs, it has always been the green. And they're just like, well, the fans love the green. It's a hit for merch, etc. And I'm like, yeah, because we've never done anything else.
Well, it's a chicken and egg thing, right? Is it because they love it because they haven't done anything else? Or, is it, I guess maybe it's not a chicken and egg thing, but it represents the only era of success pre-Dirk. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, we like the 90s because they're fun, but the 90s were a train wreck for this organization.
Disaster, for sure.
So,
88 Western Conference Finals, green was in the house. Yeah. But it was also, the white and the blue were also too. So it does harken back to the days of like, oh yeah, we finally got good, which is cool. And I'm looking forward to the stories. I'm looking forward to embracing a lot of the dudes that were around back then.
Mark Aguirre coming back in the fold.
Mark Aguirre. Rowe doesn't get enough love.
No, right? It's amazing.
Brad Davis, all those dudes, they need to get their flowers because I don't think people realize how hard it was starting a franchise in Dallas, Texas in 1980. Mm-hmm. The GOAT, Norm Sanju, just dealing with nonstop bullshit. Yeah. Interest rates were like 25% to start a business. I'm not joking at all. Like, that's exactly how it worked out. Like, this shouldn't have worked. Yeah. And within 8 years, they're in the Western Conference Finals. Yeah. And people need to remember that, right? We got to look back on the traditions and how we got here, and that's part of it. So if it brings those guys back, gets them their flowers, and has a cool moment for everybody in Dallas, then I'm perfectly fine with it.